Hi everyone, I'm Peggy Rometo and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so each and every week we slow down so that we can tune in, see what's available for us this week, be able to navigate those difficult things and turn them into something sweet and everything in between. So we do that with our breath. So we want to slow down, notice our breathing, and as we notice our breathing, you just want to let go. And for those of you that have a lot of dialogue that gets in the way, don't fight it, just, accept it, thank it for sharing, and just keep breathing and keep letting go, okay? And as I tune into the information that's showing up, you want to feel yourself. You want to notice, is that true? Is it right for me? Is it off for me, right? Because we're reading for a lot of people here, and what you want to know is what part is applicable for you. And while you're in this space or in this energy, it's training you to be able to perceive more information for you, for your life, for your friends, for your family. So, and then notice, make some notes if things come in or pictures pop in or a word pops in. Make a note of it, and down the road you may see where you can go, wow, that's what I was trying to get to. That's what was coming in for me the other day. And the more that you can spot those little moments, the stronger your ability becomes and the more fine-tuned you are to it. And that little essence of that energy that comes in, the subtle realms, right? So it's just about dialing into that energy, being able to recognize it when it shows up, and then to act on it. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and take a couple breaths to let go of our ideas and our mind and what we think we know is already going to happen, and surrender to it so we can actually see what is available for us. Okay, so go into the heart, let go, 3 long breaths, and then we'll start. Okay, so right now there's a lot of people who are feeling squeezed, and it can be squeezed for time, it can be squeezed for money, it can be feeling squeezed for performance, having to get a lot done in a short period of time, right? And so one of the ways we recognize as we're being squeezed is to stop fighting it, right? Just accept it. Okay, yeah, I have a lot to do. Yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Yes, there's a lot of money going out. Or yes, I've got a big project I've got to perform. Yes, there's this huge opportunity for me and I need to get it done. Whether you deem it as positive or you deem it as negative is less important as it is for you just to get present and to accept it. Because when you can get present to accept it, you're not in that future, you're not in the past, you're not in the dialogue or the conversation, whether it's good or bad. And when you're present, now you can perform, you can really receive what you need to get, you can really kind of like be in that moment. You're right, like when you see an athlete who's performing at that high level, they're not thinking, they're just in the rhythm. And so this is what I want you to step into, is just this rhythm. And we have a beautiful new moon that's opening up here on Monday, December 18th, right? And that new moon is a great time to plant seeds. And the kind that you want to plant would be something that you've already started or already done, or maybe you tried to lose weight and you were successful 5 years ago, and now you want to use that same program to kind of whittle off what you've gained back. Now would be a good time to restart or jumpstart that connection, because it's something from the past. And the reason we do that with this new moon is because we're still in that Mercury retrograde, which is where you really don't want to start anything brand new, but it's a great time to reconnect with people, recreate your own ideas, or revamp something that was from the past. This is wonderful energy for that. And for reconnecting with old friends and acquaintances and people that have been on your mind. This is a great opportunity to go back and ask that person out that you were interested in a couple months ago, but it never quite took off. It's a great time to reconnect with those people, okay? Not the best of time to start something completely brand new, right? And if you do, it's not bad. It's just you're just likely to run into more obstacles. It may not get the loft, or it may not get the fullness of its potential. It would be better to wait until the end of the month, like the 30th or around that time, put it as a new year launch, than to something right now. Okay. All right. So in this squeezing and feeling squeezed, when you accept it, and you just start to handle things, right? If it's bills, you need to get a loan. If it's, you need to stop the bleeding, meaning you're spending way too much money. It's just about taking action, looking and seeing what the problem is and taking action. It's the inaction that's going to kill you, right? It's staying in your head and doing nothing about it that is where the anxiety's at, right? Or the worry about what's going to happen next month, right? That's where all the pain is. So you want to resist the temptation to linger in that space and just do it. Just make things happen. And we've got the time and the energy to be able to do that. Even though we're feeling squeezed, pick and prioritize what you want to do. And that's going to help you as well. Okay, so there's also a lot of fun this week, a lot of people gathering, a lot of people coming in, and a lot of people pulling on you, wanting your time and energy and effort, right? So you want to really keep your core, keep your center, and really do your best to be, again, presence is coming up, staying focused on people, connecting with them. You know, when you stop in the grocery store and you see somebody you haven't seen in a while and you just take that 2 minutes, that 2 minutes can encapsulate like years or months, right? Because you become present, everything can come together at once. So you don't have to avoid somebody for fear of like, oh, I'm going to get stuck talking to them forever. You can make it very clear, like, hi, how are you? I don't have time and I really miss you. And, and just really be present to them, and you'll feel and they'll feel like that will be enough. All right. So don't avoid people for fear that you don't have enough time. Instead, be present to them, and you're going to find that you actually have more time, and you're going to feel that connection that they want and that you want as well. Okay. So what else is in store for us this week? Okay, a lot of you are kind of dialed in to see what's wrong, right? Like, oh God, I planned this perfect party, and, and then a snowstorm came and not, half the people couldn't come, instead of celebrating the people that could come, right? Or it's like, wow, I told them 9 and they didn't show up until 11 and the food got cold, and, instead of, thinking about what didn't work out, focus on what did. So they're showing me like you have this beautiful thing that you've created, and there's like this little smudge on it, and if you let your focus go to the smudge, the whole thing's going to melt and just not be great. So just be aware of your focus, that don't focus on what's wrong, focus on all the good things that happened this week, and you're going to have a better week, and you're going to feel happier. And this week in particular, it's important to do that because of all the pressure that you're experiencing to get things done and to have things be perfect. Okay, so anything else available for us this week? Yeah, there may be some surprise connections from people from the past who want to thank you, who want to honor you, who surprise gifts that show up for you, surprise recognition, people reaching out to you that is a surprise that wasn't expected. And you're really being asked to stop and really take it in and really be appreciative and really see the difference that you made in that person's life. And then at the same time to be able to feel that moment, right? Again, being able to take that in, because that doesn't always happen. And sometimes we take them for granted. And a lot of times we don't know when that next accolade is going to come. We don't know how long it's going to be before we get recognized again. So you're really being asked to really pay attention when people are honoring you or thanking you or appreciating you, because you may need that to go the distance. You may need that. You may be coming up with something that's difficult. You don't even know it. But what somebody said to you today is going to help you tomorrow. So just be present to people, take in what they say, and really appreciate it. Really, fill up your reservoirs so that you have more to draw from. And likewise, when you catch somebody doing something good, acknowledge it. Whether they're your friend or whether it's a stranger, really acknowledge the good in the world. If more of us can shift our focus on what's good and the positive things that are happening, that can overtake people's focus from constantly looking at the negative and what's wrong, right? And it's really easy to do because that's all we see and that's all we're bombarded with. So it's our job, our responsibility to start focusing on the good, start catching the positive things so we can turn things around so that next year we'll have a better year. We'll feel better, the people around us will feel better, and we'll all feel more connected. So this is a huge opportunity for us this week to be able to reach out to people that we love, to appreciate them, to connect with them, and for ourselves to be able to stop and to acknowledge ourselves and to be able to take that in and to use that to fuel us to the end of the year so we don't feel stressed and we don't feel squeezed and we don't feel like, is this all there is, right? Now, I'm also seeing people that are lonely, people that are depressed, people that are sad. And if there's somebody that's close to you or not close to you, of course you want to reach out and be able to love them or support them. And if you can't even do that, then just prayer. They're showing me that prayer is so powerful this week, through our intention, through our heart. Just by creating an intention or through your heart, sometimes we don't have money to give for things. Sometimes we don't have time to give for things. And if we can pray and open our heart and send that, that's valuable too. So just keep in mind there are different ways of giving and different ways in which we can co-create with somebody in creative ways. So if you can't do it the traditional way, ask yourself, how can I co-create? How can I participate in a way that works for me? And so you're being asked to co-create and participate in things that need your energy, but you may not have the traditional time, money, or availability to be able to do it. Whether the availability means in that you can actually think about how you want to do it or co-create it, or that circumstances have it that you can't participate in that because they don't like you or there's something weird there from the past that it's inappropriate, but you still are there for the cause, right? Then just ask, show me, how can I participate? Show me how I can make a difference there. And it could be that you can recommend somebody else, or you can, connect the dots for somebody else, right? So there's lots of different ways, if we get creative, that we can still participate in things that need our energy, but maybe the time has passed that it's inappropriate for us to physically be there. Okay, so keep your eye open. There may be some things like that that are going to show up for you this week, and it could, especially around families, right? When families are divorced or the breakup happens, it gets odd, but the children are involved, or friends are involved, or extended family members are involved. You're right. So you want to be able to share your love and to be able to feel a connection without making it awkward or overstepping your boundaries. So these are some issues that some of us will be dealing with this week, and you're just being asked to ask for co-creative ways in which you can support the connection, or which you can support the person. And it may be that it's removing you from the situation, that you aren't going, but you're allowing other people to go, right? And sometimes that's a bigger gesture than trying to figure out how you can go and not make it weird for other people. So an interesting kind of thing that's showing up dynamic for some of you with some parties maybe this coming week, this next weekend, right, involved as we get closer to the holidays. And for those of you that are celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, right? And we have Christmas coming up next week. So this energy that's coming in too is also in Hanukkah. We talk about the energies of miracles, that all there is to do is just to believe and open yourself up to those miracles. So look around and see, where do I need a miracle? What do I need a miracle? And how can I receive that miracle? And sometimes it's just us letting go and looking at things in a different way, really trusting, creating that synergy inside of ourselves, that certainty that I don't know how to do it, but it's going to happen. I don't know how this is going to occur, but I just know that we're going to be okay, right? Sometimes that's all we have is our faith and our certainty, and there's plenty of it to tap into. So I invite you to be able to create that connection inside of yourself, especially today and tomorrow, these next couple of days as the remainder with the Hanukkah energy and with the new moon energy, and just creating that certainty. I don't care about Mercury retrograde. I'm rising above all that sort of worldly nonsense, and I'm going to create and sustain myself with the Creator's energy and co-create a miracle for myself or a miracle for others, right? And so it's this process that we have, this capacity that we have using this cosmic energy for us to support. So we're coming full circle back to today, back to tomorrow, and really connecting with that energy, giving fully, receiving fully, slowing down, not feeling the squeeze, acknowledging whatever we have going on, prioritizing and taking it one step at a time. And at the same time, trusting that we're going to have certainty, not that we're going to, that we do have certainty, and that our life is how it needs to be. All right, everybody, have an amazing week. There's so much packed in this week to use and to be able to feel and to be able to co-create. It's going to be a terrific week if you choose it to be so. All right, guys, lots of love to you. And like I said, happy Hanukkah to all of you who celebrate. And for those of you that don't, enjoy the energy, participate. It's a cosmic event. Okay, much love to everybody. Have a wonderful week.